You guys sent all the videos on the Telegram, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bother making them. This one's not too bad. It's pretty easy.
Alright, so you have your expiratory filter, inspiratory filter. They both, when you're done with them, they both go in the trash. That one you put in, close it, lock it into place. Be careful because those do break easily. Hook up your circuit. Your on button is in front.
The other front.
I was thinking the G5. I did the G5 first yesterday.
It's all good. You know they're gonna do it too, so.
Oh yeah.
Looks so brand new and fancy.
Rick argued with me that this takes longer.
It does.
He argued with me last night. I said, you can think whatever you want.
To power up and everything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 And he said, oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I said,
yeah.
you know. Oh,
This is
yeah.
terrible. Okay, SST. And then it'll tell you exactly when your check was done last, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna run all of the tests. And then hit accept. And then it'll tell you what kind of patient you're using this on, so they know what kind of circuit you have. Thanks. And then what kind of humidification device we're using. We're using HME. So hit accept. And it's gonna tell you connect circuit with inspiratory filter and without humidifier. Hit accept. Lock the Y. Hit accept. I think the SST on the 840 is 2 minutes. This one's 3.
Oh yeah, it is. So Rakia, did it pass the O2?
Yeah, it did.
It did?
Yeah.
So they've been like, it's been up and down.
Yeah.
Mine didn't pass the overview besides that.
On the Draeger?
No, on the
Sure.
servo.
Okay.
Mine failed on the other one too, but apparently it just passed, so.
Yeah, mine failed on 840.
So that passed. So it just says please wait.
Well, it does different. It's not cutting.
Passed. Please wait. That passed. Wait. So you know this isn't going to pass if it falls below 75. Disconnect disconnect circuit inspiratory filter. Accept.
Rick will be happy that it has better language.
Reconnect circuit expiratory filter.
Because remember, we joked about that. Remove from at. Right? He always jokes about that on the 840.
Use your words. Use your words.
Use your words.
Unblock Y. Accept. Why?
Why do you have to do it twice?
Totally.
Why? Yes. So we can go back to, we don't need to run the leak test there, did it? So go back to patient setup. New patient. This is where you hit, you can dial in the kilograms of the patient, or you can hit the kind of patient you have. Then you just dial in how tall they are. So we'll say we have a 6 foot male, 72 inches, right? And we want, our settings are rated 15. We want AC volume control, tire volume 700. We want ramp with a flow of 60, 21%, 5 of P. Okay, so flow triggering with our flow trigger at 3. So once we have all that, those are our basic settings. Once those are in, you can go ahead and hit start. It'll kick you over to this screen, but it won't start ventilating until you hook up your patient. So it says, please connect patient or press confirm. It says my air supply is down. Alright, reset that. So your patient's on. Go ahead and set your alarms. So your alarms for this is right here. Our peak pressure, we'll set that at 15 above. Our rate, 15. Minute ventilation, we're at 10, so let's set this at 11.5. We'll set this at 8.5. Tidal volume, 10. We'll go up to 800. We'll go up to 620. And then, so those are all my values. So you can go ahead and hit accept all. It's gonna keep alarming. Then this is how you reset your alarm. You have your inspiratory hold, expiratory hold. This is a mandatory breath. This is, you hit that to turn it up. That's to lock the screen, and this is to change the lighting on the screen. So those are all your hard keys right there. So we set our alarms, so then you would call us over, we would check everything out. We would have you do a plateau and compliance for us. So in order to do that, you have to go into your settings. There's 2 ways to get there. You can hit that box right there and it will pull it up. Or you can hit menu over here and hit setup, and then that will pull it up too. So we need to be in a square waveform, which our inspiratory time is 1.28. So turn it to square, and then turn this down till we get to 1.28. Alright, so then once you're there, go ahead, accept all, then go ahead and do an inspiratory hold. So your values will pop up here. When they have the parentheses around them, that typically means that it's probably not like 100% accurate. So you can go ahead and run it again. You don't have to accept that. But our compliance was 109 last time. It's 109 this time. Resistance was about the same. So even though it's showing that there's parentheses there, that's still probably pretty accurate. So I will go ahead and hit accept. It'll populate it down to here. And then this will trend all your plateaus and compliance and resistances, so you can see if what's changing over time, so you can always go back for a reference. So that's your plateau compliance resistance. You hit the inspiratory pause, that's going to give you your auto peep. So our PEEP total's 5, our set PEEP is 5, our auto PEEP is 0. Looks good to me, hit accept. Same thing, I'll drop it down to the save box so you can trend it. Go ahead, hit close.
Quick question.
What's that?
Are we keeping this in a square waveform?
No.
Waveform? Okay.
I'm gonna put it back. I was just looking for something. So once you do your plateau compliance resistance, auto peep you can do in ramp or square, doesn't matter. Go ahead. Alright. So plateau compliance, resistance, auto peep. To hit 100% oxygen, you hit this button right here. It will say it's elevating it for 2 minutes. You can stop it. That will stop the. It'll bring you back down to your set oxygen. So if you hit this box right here, drop it down. Hit page 2. You get your dynamic compliance and resistance, and you get your static compliance and resistance. So say you don't want to do an inspiratory hold, you can always go back to here for reference. So you do your inspiratory hold, your compliance and resistance will always be here, the ones that were recorded last. Okay? You hit this button again, and this pulls up all your values on a big screen, so you can easily walk by and look, see how your patient's doing, if her alarm's going off, you can walk by and see what it could be. You have your pressure, flow, and volume waveform, all your values, your monitoring values up here. So it's just a nice key to have. To change your waveforms, there's little boxes down here. You hit this little box, you can change it to, you see 1 graph, 2 graphs, which is most common, 3, you can see all of them, or you can go here and you can see all 3 graphs and your pressure and flow loop. Pressure volume loop, flow volume loop. Okay, so that's how you change your graphs right here. Okay, I think that's it. So then once you do that, you have to go ahead and put your patient in tube compensation. So you go back to menu. Someone hit that test one. Go to setup. Go back to spontaneous. You want pressure support, tube compensation, volume support, and PAV. We want tube compensation at 100%. Let's max it out. We have 8.0 endotracheal tube. So once we have that, we go ahead and accept. Alright, so now our patient is in tube compensation. Our target volume is supposed to be 350, we'll say. We're at 200. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do with this mode to get that volume more?
The pressure.
Increase the tidal volume?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you increase their,
Inspiratory time.
The inspiratory time, or
Is
the-
inspiratory time set? You're in spontaneous.
Oh, peak.
What does PEEP fix?
What, oxygenation?
PEEP fix oxygen. We have a
Right.
we have a ventilation problem. Do we add pressure in this?
Ventilation is PCO2 up.
Pressure, wouldn't it? What was it called, like in trade?
This is tube compensation though.
Oh, never mind.
Do we
What are
add
your other
pressure?
options?
So what's
You
our
could-
other option?
Get it, change the tube?
Why would you change the
I
tube?
don't know.
I don't know.
That's pretty extreme.
So how can you help with the tidal volume in a spontaneous mode?
Frequency?
What's the other options? You know.
The respiratory
Come
rate?
on. Yes, you do.
It's spontaneous.
Oh.
What else do you set on the 840?
They're in tube compensation.
I know, but what other things can you set in spontaneous?
You do the 840, right?
So my question was, what else can you do in this mode?
To increase
compensation
the tidal
mode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a trick question. Nothing.
Nothing.
You can't
What did
increase
you
the
say?
tidal
I'm like, there's nothing you
I
can
mean,
do.
there's
You
tube
have to switch
compensation,
into
right?
pressure support.
Okay.
They need
Okay.
pressure
Damn,
support.
Burr.
No way.
That was literally the last thing I'm like,
I
nothing.
She was asking like there was something else to it, and I was like, well, if she means that.
Well, that's
Like
what
one
I'm
of
saying.
ABGs.
If you were
There's nothing wrong with it,
confident,
don't
you would
ABGs.
know that.
Yep.
Guess
I'm
what?
sorry we lack confidence.
Well, you need
Sorry
it.
to let you down.
If you're gonna take care of my family member, you better be confident. All right, so we can't.
Trying everything.
So let's go ahead and let's switch them to pressure support. Back to menu, setup, spontaneous pressure support, add 10 of pressure support, 5 of PEEP, hit accept.
This is a close crowd, cause you know, everybody else was like way back here.
I feel like I feel a little invaded.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're all our phones are on you.
All right, so now we have a tidal volume of 984,
Oh
and we're
my
trying to get
goodness.
350 to 500. What can we do?
Lower the pressure.
Lower the pressure.
Lower the pressure.
Close,
I said 350 to 500.
okay. Sorry, I did not hear the 500 part.
We fixed them.
Fix. That's it.
That's
Fix.
it. Then we'll ask you some questions and then you're done.
Okay. So that's
Same
when we call you
exact
back
PE
over after
is
this and then
The 840.
840.
Yeah, I was thinking of like.
Same thing.